The fiddle. It was my companion, the friend of my bosom, triumphing loudly when I was joyful, and uttering its soft, melodious consolations when I was sad. When sleep had fled, affrighted from the cabin, and my soul was disturbed and troubled with the contemplation of my fate, the fiddle, it would sing me a song of peace. On Holy Sabbath, days when an hour or two of leisure was loud, it would accompany me to some quiet place on the bayou bank, and lifting up the fiddle's voice, discourse kindly and pleasantly indeed. These were words by Solomon Northup, the fiddler who wrote the book 12 Years a Slave. The piece was As the Wind Blows, from the Fiddle Dance Suite by jazz great Wynton Marsalis. This piece represents the free-natured fiddler and dancer, with dreams, aspirations, and hopes brought to reality. There is a history of writers, painters, sculptors, and composers who have conveyed the symbolism of the fiddler so beautifully as being the one that never stops playing and a spirit of a dancer who never tires. So today, we are all fiddlers. I welcome you to Third Thursdays at Noon. I'm so thankful and grateful to be back here after being on Dr. Eugene Doughty's in September and playing at the church once after that. I hope you enjoy this journey of stories through the fiddle. Some pieces will stop, some will move right into free, so feel free to clap, sing, sway, move as you please. This recital is also dedicated to all of you and the light within us. The light within us all, that even on days that it is not so obvious in our hearts, it shines brightly throughout our being. Nearly 100 years ago, this little children's song was recorded for the first time in Huntsville, Texas. Didn't know that. Didn't know that. Distributed and became one of the most popular folk tunes in America, This Little Light of Mine. Written by Harry Dixon Lowes, it's obvious this American anthem speaks and sparks a feeling which made so many who sing it feel a little less alone and a little more free, which it probably explains this power of this song, This Little Light of Mine. I have a wonderful up-and-coming composer and bass, Caitlin Edwards. Remember that name. She wrote me a little introduction to this wonderful song we know so well, This Little Light of Mine, This Fiddle Light of Mine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, oh, I gotta let it shine. Let it shine. Everybody at home, everywhere I go, you're gonna let it shine. Come on. Everywhere I go, I gotta let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, yeah. Let it shine. Yes, we all should let it shine, right? And the light is not little, right? It's large. So I'm going to move on to Seems like we need to do another course of that, right? Remind ourselves, but we can come back later. I'm going to move on. I always have to do a George Bridgetower plug. Those of you who are watching that know me say, oh, not him again. But George Bridgetower is my research subject. George Bridgetower was a virtuoso violinist of the 18th century, Afro-European composer, and friend of our own Ludwig van Beethoven. And he is the wonderful violinist in which Beethoven wrote probably his hardest violin sonata for, Opus 47 in A major. Well, in light of my research, I decided there was ways that I could get the word out. And so I had composers write pieces for me in which tell the story of Bridgetower or infuse a piece of music that he wrote. Still looking for more compositions of his. So this is one that you're about to hear by Philip Wharton, a friend of mine in New York City who I went to school with. And he wrote a piece called Gloss on Henry, which is a gloss over his only, George Bridgetower's only art song called Henry. And so I was going to sing it for you, but I figured after this little light of mine, you decided you've heard enough of my singing. So what I will do, though, is read you just a verse of the art song in which George Bridgetower wrote. And then following that, you'll hear Gloss on Henry with Mr. Doug Bolt on piano by Philip Wharton and George Bridgetower. So the first verse of his ballad goes, "You call me fickle, cruel youth, and doubt my love and constancy. Be sure that tongue is void of truth, that speaks and falsely speaks of me. Henry, Henry, I live and only live for you, Henry." That is. Well, next I would like to invite Dr. Oswaldo Zapata to the stage. I have so many people on this concert, nobody knows when to come up. It's all my fault, though. So I would like to introduce this piece to you. This is Brave Wolf by Mark O'Connor, the great fiddler, American fiddler, violinist, and composer. He wrote a piece for trumpet and violin, and this is based on a Canadian tune entitled Brave Wolf, and its specific claim to indigenous sounds. Brave Wolf is the first and one of the finest of the native Anglo-Canadian ballads and describes the British victory on the Plains of Abraham in 1759 in the same area claimed by the Blackfoot tribe. So it circulated widely throughout the British colonies, appearing in many New England broadsides and songbooks of the 18th and 19th centuries, and survived in oral tradition in both Newfoundland and Nova Scotia well into the 20th century. So I bring to you, this is Brave Wolf by Mark O'Connor, and I am so pleased and grateful to play with my colleague from UTSA, Dr. Oswaldo Zapata. What a piece that is, huh? Definitely gets you going. We are going to move into a wonderful, another dream of mine is to, I'm so grateful to so many people for this wonderful opportunity to teach at UTSA and in the string area. And I have so many wonderful faculty there to be inspired by, but also those that still live in the area that inspire me. And one of those is Dr. Eugene Dowdy, who for many years, yes, is a member of this church, and for so many years was the director of orchestras and many hats, right? Chair at UTSA Music. And I consider him a great friend, but also an amazing mentor, and certainly one of the greatest music educators in the country by far. So we are so lucky to have him right here in Texas, in San Antonio. And so one of my many dreams is to start a band. Well, unfortunately, I play violin. I guess I could electrify and do all these things, but why not just ask my friends? So here we have some of the wonderful string music majors at UTSA. And again, one of my fantasies is to start a string band in all its forms. So maybe the next time you see this, there's going to be a banjo in here. Who threatened that? Around here, yes. Dr. Mabry said he was going to play banjo with us, so look out for that. But for now, we're going to play a wonderful piece by Afro-Cuban composer of the 18th century, Jose White, and one of his extremely virtuosic violinist and composer. He's written so many pieces that are just very challenging for the violin today. But one of his most famous and lovely pieces is La Bella Couleur. This piece is originally for two violins and piano, but people have arranged it in many ways, and today we've decided to do that as well. And so, welcome the group. You can take a bow if you'd like. Thank you. I had this fantasy of saying everybody's name, but you've heard me talk long enough, so I'll send them to you. Thank you so much. I was torn as whether to play one more tune, but okay. Well, when the pastor speaks, I think I'll play one more for you, and it's again with my wonderful colleague Chris Villanueva. We were talking about what we might play for this. I was kind of again lifted up by this little light of mine, but I thought to myself, what else could I play? And he said, it's summertime, we could play anything. So here we go.
Your mommy's good love.